Good morning, everyone. It is a dreary morning here in South Carolina, but nonetheless, I wanted to make this video. So welcome back to another segment of Monday Musings with Leslye from Leslye Loves, where I'm currently sharing all the things that I love. And in today's segment, I kind of wanted to discuss the emotional attachment to handbags. And this doesn't have to be handbags. It can be things. I have a few things featured here on the side. And so I kind of wanted to just dive in, but really quickly, if you're new to this page, I have a lot of new subscribers. I mostly post content handbag specific related on Fridays, although I tend to spill it in onto my What Leslye Loves Wednesdays, and Mondays are my Monday Musings. So let me dive in. Although really quickly, please, will you subscribe, like this video, and I more than want to have a continued conversation in the comments below, so thank you. All right, back to business. So I was actually struggling to think about what I wanted to talk about in today's video, and then it occurred to me that I was kind of talking about ways I'm as easily influenced, things that kind of make me go from day to day in one of my other videos on cleaning up and tidying up, and I happen to have a new setup. I'll give you guys a sneak peek for my Monday Musings viewers. You'll get a sneak peek of my new setup. Pardon the change in audio and in lighting, but I promised those of you who actually watch these Monday Musings that you'd get a little sneak peek into my new filming space, but still very practical. I have a little bit of extra storage. This corner was always the corner of blah, and so it was really fun to find this piece and shop with my husband to get this. He's been my greatest supporter in allowing me to create this creative space for someone who considers herself super not creative. So here we are. Top shelf is that plant that I had to have. It's not real. She'd die in my hands. I need to charge this. I need to charge that. I need to charge my mic. Y'all, I'm a mess. Some books. These are some of my favorite books. This is Home. This one's amazing. Call It Home, Scandi Rustic. We all know I love me some Joanna Gaines. And bottom row, y'all, gotta be the two special bags. So those are the three beauties on display. And this is my little filming space. It's kind of another little area that I film in sometimes too, but here's a behind the scenes just for you. Now back to the video. New setup. And as I was setting that up, I was torn as to what to put on those shelves, and they're all set up, they're set to go, and they're meant to fluctuate and rotate as things change in my life. But at first I wanted to put some sentimental pieces on there, and I decided, you know what, no, this time around I'm not going to. I want to very much curate it. So I'm going to bring my phone up just because I have my notes there, and I have mom brain. I have not finished my complete cup of coffee, but this was a good time for me to film. So why do handbags hold a deeper meaning for me? I'm going to start off with a story time, and I've shared this in some other videos before, but I was given, it's not my first handbag, but it was my first then to me designer handbag. I say designer, but to many people, like, Coach is a designer brand for them, and it is. It's one of the design houses, but it's not one of the big fashion houses. So putting that aside, my mom had just passed away, and I was up visiting family that Thanksgiving, and my aunt, who always had an affinity for fashion and handbags, she said, hey Leslye, she kind of pulled me over to the side and said, I actually have some bags and I want you to pick the one that you want. And they were like brand new, most of them. So my eyes were instantly drawn to this one. I immediately grabbed it, and I've shared, she was like, brown, really? Like, you don't want a classic black? And nope, I really love this, and no mystery why. I love the interior. One of my favorite colors is purple. And actually this shade of purple went on to be my business colors for my real estate business, but it wasn't just because of the interior. I just was instantly drawn to the silhouette of the bag, and I held on. I immediately remember the excitement of moving my stuff into it, because at that time I was back at school. I was not affording much of anything in that season of my life. So to have a Coach bag, mind you, I had purchased a Coach bag, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 years or maybe more prior to that, and I instantly returned it because I felt so guilty. I was like, no, this is so expensive, and at the time that was just like way beyond my budget, and I didn't feel good about it. So I instantly returned it. So this is my first designer, new to me. Well, it was brand new. It had the tags and everything attached. It was a brand new bag, and back pocket, you can see how it influenced what I liked in other bags in the future. It was crossbody. This one just really kind of set the tone, but it was such a sentimental piece. So you guys know I'm pretty ruthless and I get rid of handbags. I've really gotten rid of a ton this year, but this one stayed. Now I have some regrets about adding the tea roses on here. I guess I mostly don't prefer the placement of them, but I guess they had to put them here. And so I never used the bag after I put these tea rose florals on here from Coach. They did it at the boutique to revitalize my bag, and they kind of leathered her up and gave her the spa treatment. But this was and always will be a sentimental piece for me, and I just recently finally decided to part ways with it, but it was easier because I gave it to my eldest daughter. She was with me when this bag was given to me, and so and she loves like very vintage pieces, so it was only appropriate for her to have it. And she never really liked like the size of this bag because it's pretty big, but she now has this. It is hers, and I'm happy to pass this on and have it have a wonderful new life. But yeah, very special piece for me. The only other handbag in my collection that has sentimental value to me currently is this Kate Spade. And this is just one of their satchels. My husband bought this for me for my birthday back in, I want to say 2017 or 2018, and this was post him having a major surgery, and I don't really feel like diving into that now, but I almost lost him. So this piece is very special to me because we saw it at the store together, and he was like, you should get that bag. And he's very particular. So if he likes it, I know that I'm gonna love it too. I mean, I like what I like too, but I digress. This is a special piece to me just because he picked it. It's in Saffiano leather. These bags were back in my heyday where I didn't really like think about my bags all that much, but it has some nice pockets on the side, center compartment, another pocket. So it was super practical for me, and it was kind of like my first bag that I really wore post diaper bag season after I had my fourth youngest, or my fourth child. So I wore this everywhere. I wore it to vacation. So I have a lot of pictures wearing this bag, and gosh, in Reno and several places in Idaho. I have pictures of this when I went to Seattle. Like, this bag, both of these have been to many places with me. So this one I also technically no longer have in my collection, but I'm holding on to it for her because this will go to my 11-year-old. And she's starting to get into handbags, although I kind of want to suppress that as long as possible because buying handbags for 3 women is expensive. But she has specifically requested this one. She said, nope, I want this one. You promised me it. And she has a Kate Spade little camera bag that I bought for her as her first handbag or camera bag when she turned double digits. So that's her. She has her little collection, but it feels special because this will get passed on. I mean, I don't think there's any damage to this bag. There's a little bit of character on that one, but this one is, she can break it when she's ready to use it. But those are the 2 for me that have some emotional and sentimental attachment because there's a story behind them. And I'd say probably of my 2 newer purchases, this next one is the one that I'm thinking I'm going to give to my 2-year-old after it has lived a long life with me, but It's none other than my Polen Moki bag. This bag I bought right on her second birthday, just as my reward for, it's my mom math, my reward for officially having a toddler, so no infants in the house, and I purchased it on that day. I kind of shared that the name of this bag, Moki, is actually the name of a little toy monkey that she plays with and my youngest son plays with, so it just made sense. I decided to treat myself to this bag, and so this will probably be the one that I pass on to her, and hopefully we'll have lived a nice long life. But do you see the similarities to this one? So that'll be that one. And the other one, again, story to be unfold, but I bought this bag thinking I'm 1000% going to let it build its character and it's going to have a story to tell, all right, because I plan to take it with me on some travels. And I think also at the season that I'm purchasing this, when life is getting ready to very much change for me, is my Coach Empire. I think it's kind of a culmination of a lot of handbags that I've loved in many seasons, and I've let some go, and I totally wanted to hate this bag, but I think it'll be the places I take this to, the seasons that it brings me through. They're just things, right? But you kind of associate them with seasons of your life. Like this is very distinctively for me when my mom passed, and I carried this for 10 years. It was my bag exclusively. So probably of all my bags currently, this has the most sentimental value to me. But yeah, we'll see. These two yet to be seen, but this one is probably what I have in mind to give to my youngest. So, all right, and for another emotional handbag that I have that I'm probably always going to be attached to is my first luxury handbag. Now, by technicality, the first luxury handbag I ever purchased was a Gucci Marmont camera bag, yes, in black. I was super into the chevron pattern, and I thought I liked chain straps. We all know I don't really prefer them, but that was technically my first one. However, once I started diving in, I blame my sister-in-law for this. Once I started really diving into handbags, I knew that I wanted to get a LV Speedy B25, and here she is. And I guess I have a lot of emotional attachment to this one because I've purchased it more times than I care to share. That's not what this video is about, but I knew that I wanted to have this bag eventually, just because when I thought about luxury handbags, this was the first one that I thought about. Just because of, you know, Audrey Hepburn, and I didn't really get into the history of it until, you know, probably a year into my luxury handbag spree that I had. But this one's super special to me just because I did end up, as I shared, purchasing and repurchasing it, but I established such a great relationship with my essay. He's in the Boca Raton store in Florida, which, gosh, we're about to get some storms here in the Carolinas, and Florida's gonna get the brunt of it, so I hope they're gonna be okay. But he's just been wonderful and has taken such good care of me, and I have a great coach essay too, but he knew that I wanted to switch out my bag with the proper hardware. So as soon as he got one in, he reached out to me and said, yep, I have one, it's made in France. Like, he just knew what I wanted and what was important to me. I know that I'm emotionally attached to it, and I have the perfect one. I have a silk organizer in this, and yeah, she's just special to me. So this one will probably, I don't know, my girls can fight over this one later, but those are kind of like the handbags that will probably, not probably, but unless something very awful, I've already done that tag where if I had to be down to certain bags, and 2 of them were not featured in there, but we kind of know how I feel about these. So as I'm sitting here looking at these bags here, I have them all kind of piled up. I think that for me, at least personally, and I think that we can say this with many sentimental items that we have in our home. It doesn't need to be handbags, but for me, they're a great reminder of where I've been, my plans for the future. So these two have been on so many travels with me in so many different seasons of my life. You know, I purchased the Moki in a season where I was like, okay, I'm officially not gonna have to carry a diaper bag anymore. My Speedy in a season of prosperity and just feeling justified in my purchase. And this one, just with the hope of the future. I've been through so much in my life, and this is not a personal journal channel, but it's probably putting a little bit too much meaning to these things because they are just things. But because I use my handbags, and really what I keep and maintain in my collection are items I use, I like those little reminders of, oh, like you just get those little bits of memories. You know how when you listen to a song or you smell something, the scent of a candle or a cologne or a perfume can bring you back to a moment in time? I especially feel that with this one. I really, really do. So in the comments below, I'd like you to share with me if you have a handbag or an item in your home that you feel like you can never get rid of because it now has some sentimental value. I thought I'd kind of share a couple other items aside from handbags, but so like I have here, you can see this says, if it'll focus, McCall, Idaho. I will always keep this little vase, and these are actual dried flowers from Idaho. It reminds me of a season that I stayed at my friend's cabin actually in McCall, and we went shopping. Actually, we went to this restaurant that no longer exists, sadly. I don't know, who knows what's going to happen with that place, but I was there with my brother. He came to visit. It was during my birthday. I'm never going to forget that. So I have this sitting next to my mom's picture because she would be happy that we got along enough to stay at a cabin all together with our kids for a weekend. So that's one item. And these two here, I had them packed up, and I've decided in my simple living, I really don't have a lot of doodads in my house, but I have some pieces that I have kept because they really do bring me back. Like in one of my Monday Musings, I shared that little perfume bottle. But anyhow, these I had on my little nightstand in my room, and if they weren't set up like this specifically, it would drive my mom crazy. So I used to have these like packaged up. In fact, these didn't stay with me. I grabbed these and they came back with me after my mom had passed. I remember her little foot broke and I can't find that piece, and I was just utterly devastated. This was probably like a year or two after my mom had passed, but these now, instead of being locked away where they'll have no meaning for anyone, if I have them locked away in a special place so they don't get broken, then it's not going to mean anything to my family. So I've decided I'm going to have my crap out, or this isn't crap, but I'm going to have my stuff out. I'm going to enjoy my things. I'm going to wear my bags. I said that in this video. I'm going to just wear this, and when it builds its character, it builds its character. And these are now sitting on top of my desk, so I see them all the time. My kids see them, so that when I'm no longer here, they can choose to trash it or donate it if they want. But if they choose to keep it, as I've kept them all these years, it means something to them, and I've shared why I enjoy these. Now, I don't want to give them guilt later and be like, you have to keep all my stuff, but you get I'm kind of talking about, I can't remember what video it was, but I think it was this lady doing the Swedish death method where her mom had passed away and she was cleaning up her belongings, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm young still, but I was thinking about, because I lost my mom pretty unexpectedly and she was only 51, or 59, sorry. She was 59, but she had a lot of stuff left, and so to have to rummage through that, I don't know, this is a Monday Musings video. This is how my mind works. But I don't want to leave them with a whole bunch of stuff to clean up. So it was interesting to watch that video, and it has made me very intentional on what I have in my space. I like to keep it very clutter-free, and but I like to enjoy the things that I have. So I kind of made this not just in relation to handbags, although we're all handbag lovers here, I think, but just to kind of think about that as we go around in our day-to-day. I think this, again, I was setting up my YouTube space, and I'm in my quarterly declutter and taking things away, just to, not taking things away, but, you know, putting things to donate and things that I'm done with. And as you're kind of in those seasons of transition, I like to take these moments and reflect. So I hope you found this video insightful, or perhaps it allows you to reflect on items that you have in your wardrobe or closet or around your home. I really enjoyed kind of just thinking, really thinking, and having a thought exercise. Sometimes we don't slow down to do these things, but for me, I really find these Monday Musings videos super helpful. So I hope that you have. Again, please comment below, and until next week's Monday Musings, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.